been airing on Peacock and the WWE Network all this week, hosted by Sarah Schreiber, WWE. The top 50 list of the greatest women's superstar in the modern era. Any female superstar from 1993 to the present. Criteria for the list are heavily based on in-ring accomplishments, championship victories, and creating legendary moments. Those who primarily made their mark outside of the ring also highlighted throughout the series. I sent you guys the list earlier, and I feel like this list is just all sorts of bad. Like, do I want to I don't necessarily want to read all of them off, but like, who are some? Because I want to go over who we think will be our top five. Because the top five will be unveiled tomorrow, I believe. Because they got 10 through 6 today. Who were some of the ones that jumped out to you guys to where they were that were the most kind of egregious on this list, whether it was too high, too low, who they were above, and so forth? Because I feel like there was a lot of these that, not that certain superstars shouldn't have been on the list or what have you, but positioning on the list I thought was a little off to me on some of them. I mean, the first one that jumps out to me, Stephanie McMahon at 23. Like, how is Stephanie McMahon, besides the obvious, how is Stephanie McMahon at 23? Like, I mean, she was the women's champion at one time. Was she a multi-time women's champion? Like, but I mean, some of the people that she's above, I'm just going, how is?
I mean,
so go ahead, Matt.
If the criteria did say memorable moments too, correct?
Yeah, creating legendary moments.
I mean, the close wedding with The Undertaker, the drive-through wedding with Triple H, the wedding with Test. I mean, those are the same moment, but still, like, those are two huge moments in my opinion.
Well, you're okay. You're right. You're right.
And then
Ronda's first match.
Yeah. Yep.
The Brie Bella match.
Okay. All right.
Like,
maybe it does make a little bit more sense.
I feel like they put that qualifier in because you can make an argument for anyone on the list and their positioning, because you can bring up a moment that was huge.
Yeah. So for those watching along following along on Facebook, I'm putting the full listing on full screen right now. For everyone, but Stephanie McMahon is 23. She is notably above Io Shirai at 25, the Bella Twins at 26, Melina at 27, also Bull Nakano, Naomi,
Miss Jacqueline,
Eve Torres.
Gail Kim's on there too. At 33, Gail Kim.
For me,
yeah, like
Gail
Kim.
I think Gail Kim's one of the top women's wrestlers of all time, but most of her stuff did not come in WWE. So I can see how they can justify that.
I mean, to be and you know, like, business politics aside or whatever, I'm almost surprised that Gail Kim was A, on the list, and B, even as high as 33.
Because, I think she, like, tongue-in-cheek tweeted that as well.
She did. She did. I saw that on Twitter. But, like, I always saw that she was on the list, and she was, I mean, even kind of that high. But I was actually kind of surprised, because she has been, you know, right, wrong, or indifferent, depends where your opinion on the situation lies. She's been very vocal anti-WWE over the years. So, you know, and obviously I don't work there. I've never worked there, so I can't speak to that either way. So, but sometimes the WWE, if you speak out against them, you're not going to end up on things like Hall of Fames or whatever. We're looking at you, Demolition. So if you speak out against the company, sometimes they don't put you on things that they produce. So I'm kind of surprised she was on there.
Yeah. I understand why she's this high, but I think Ronda Rousey in the top 10 is too high for Ronda Rousey, given the shortness of her time in WWE.
Yeah, I could have seen somewhere between like
definitely top 20.
I was gonna say somewhere 15 to 20, something like that, because I mean she's a huge name. Her time there was impactful, and obviously part of the first women's main event at WrestleMania. But I would not have had her in the top 10.
I think putting the Bella Twins on as just one entry does a disservice to the Bella Twins.
And like 26 is really low for both.
Like we have our fun at the Bella Twins' expense, but
I will say this.
That makes sense. If Nikki is first and Brie is 50th, then that
you gotta go in the middle.
But
I would say Nikki and AJ, the two longest reigning women's champs, would both probably deserve to be a lot higher than they are. Probably top 15, top 10 possibly. But if we're basing it off of like championship reigns and moments, I mean the Bellas and AJ are involved in the women's pipe bomb, and that was kind of the turning point of the revolution. So
and like also like I'm looking at the list and no offense, but Shotzi Blackheart at 46, has she done enough to even make a top 50 list?
I not in WWE.
Like, and she's above Sonya Deville?
Yeah. I mean, she's above Kaylee Ray, who has been the NXT UK Women's Champion for...
That promotion doesn't exist, Jim.
Oh, sorry. That's true. What am I thinking?
But I'm nitpicking.
She's higher than Caitlyn, who was at least a Divas champion, right?
But Caitlyn is like, to me, Caitlyn is on the low end. Like,
sure, but at least she was a. I'm not saying she should be even above 45, but should she be higher than Shotzi Blackheart? Who
higher than Shotzi Blackheart?
Right. I mean,
I really love both of those wrestlers, but
sure.
Even putting Caitlyn in the top 50, if she came in right at number 50, I would have been like, oh, good for her.
Right.
So,
got to start somewhere.
Like, is it literally just these 50 women that have competed since 93 till now? Is that what, is that?
No, because there's no Bertha Faye. There's no, trying to think, no Miss Terry, no the Cat.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Where's Ivory?
Ivory's at 28.
Is Deborah not on there either?
Deborah's not on the list.
Did Deborah ever wrestle though?
I don't think she actually wrestled.
I don't think she actually wrestled.
Right.
They have Rhea Ripley at 21.
Hi.
And I like Rhea a lot, and I think she's going to be great, but
I think she's...
It's a little early for 21.
The fact that she's higher than Michelle McCool is insane.
Yeah, Rhea Ripley should be 35-ish.
And Alexa Bliss at 13.
I mean, I love Alexa Bliss, but that feels a little high.
That is low.
Is it? Yeah.
She's a top 10 greatest of all time.
Flip Alexa Bliss and Ronda Rousey, I think that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I could be fine with that.
Because I'm cool with the top 10 except for Ronda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you put Ronda in between Mickey and Victoria? And maybe flip Mickey and Beth? Make Mickey's 11?
Mickey and Beth, I think, like it's tough to leave either of them out of the top 10. So I think like I would put Mickey ahead of Beth.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that.
And what's notable is the top 5 that's on that graphic that's missing, which is Charlotte, Trish, Becky, Chyna, and Asuka.
China.
And
so wait, did we mention Tori Wilson not being on the list?
Tori Wilson's not on the list. Stacy Keibler's not on the list.
That's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I don't see how Tori's not on the list. I mean, Stacy, I don't think ever wrestled in WWE.
She had like the bras and
Stacey,
panty matches,
yes, she
whatever
absolutely wrestled.
Oh, well, true.
Yeah.
maybe when they're celebrating Women's History Month, they're trying to not include bra and panty matches.
But if that's the case, then like, if that's the case on this list, like Sable,
right?
Like Sable was like the first Playboy Playmate.
That's true. Yeah.
Who else is on Playboy?
Chyna
did Playboy. Gail Kim, didn't she do Playboy?
Gail Kim did.
Okay.
Maurice did, but not when she worked for WWE.
Oh, Maurice at 37 is nuts. Like
Maria Kanellis did the Playboy.
Yeah, Maria.
That's right.
Maria's not on the list.
Nope.
That's a shame.
Candice Michelle's not on the list, and that's insane.
Three Count Thursday is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app. That's arenaeats.app for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order?
It's weird to me that like
there's a lot of glaring omissions there. Like if
let me just go through the list of like WWE Women's Champions.
Yeah, because I feel like there are a number of champions missing, which when you're putting like Shotzi and Caitlyn and
I mean, I think we all kind of know who the top 5 is going to be, but if me saying Tori Wilson belongs on here, if she's somehow in the top 5, then wow.
Okay, yeah, because if she is somehow in the top 5, that means Charlotte, Trish, Becky, Chyna, or Asuka is not on the list.
Who's not on the list?
Chyna.
No, but who's getting in the top 5?
If
not those?
If Tori Wilson would somehow be in the top 5, she would bump.
She definitely deserves 50.
Yeah.
But if she's not on this list yet because she's in the top 5, then that's a huge mistake as well.
Yeah. So I'm going from the bottom up of looking at omissions of people that were women's champion, but not on the list.
Gotcha.
Candice Michelle was a 105-day champion in 2007.
Okay.
Not on the list. Jazz.
Jazz is on.
Jazz is at 38.
Jazz is at 38. Never mind. Redacted.
Probably could have been higher a little bit.
Yeah. The Cat. The Fabulous Moolah. Deborah. Bertha Faye. And that's it. Because everybody else is like Alundra Blaze, Bull Nakano.
Okay.
I understand why Fabulous Moolah is not on the list.
Sure. Especially with Peacock.
And then there's the Divas Championship.
Right, because if we're talking modern day. I mean, we're talking 93 till now.
Yeah. So since then,
Deborah held the title, so she definitely should be in the top 50.
Jillian Hall, Alicia Fox.
Yeah, okay.
How is Foxy not on the list?
I'm not a big Alicia Fox fan, but she should be on this list.
Where's Natty? Natty's
20.
At
20.
Okay.
Natty's here.
Too high.
Yeah, it's
too low, too high, however you want to call it.
Yeah, it's just not. it's
a weird list.
It's an imperfect science with lists.
It
Sure.
feels like they tried to put too many current people on this just to make the current roster look better than it is.
Mm-hmm.
Is what it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean,
I love Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans is not in the top 50 right now. Shotzi Blackheart
especially not at 39. Like,
I love Ember Moon, but what has Ember Moon done to be in the top 50 at this point?
yeah, definitely not over some of the ones that were omitted.
Yeah.
I mean, Shotzi. Kelly, kind of. But, like...
Hey, Kelly
Nikki
was a
Cross.
24/7 champion, so she has to be on the list.
Nikki Cross.
She was a Divas champion.
That's right. Alicia Fox was.
Yeah, Foxy was. And, like...
And Maria Kanellis.
That's... Which,
Yeah,
I mean...
she was, like, one of the first ones.
Which, I mean, she, you know,
Yeah,
she kind of got the treatment I thought that Gail Kim was going to get, not to get on the list.
Right.
You know, but yeah, I mean, it is definitely a weird list. In the top 10 so far, Bailey at 10, Ronda 9, Lita 8, Alundra Blaze 7, Sasha Banks 6.
You think Sonny's in the top 5?
No way.
Not she's top 5 most wanted, but not.
There is a button on the board for a percentage that Sonny is on this list.
0.0.
Yeah.
Easy.
I don't think she's bumping any of these top 5 either. She's on it. She's on a list, but not a.
Golly, Maria Kanellis was the 31st 24/7 champion.
And she's not on the list.
Yeah, man. I would love to do a game with you guys one day of like a... If you guys remember, at least 2 of you will probably remember this. Stump the Schwab.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love Stump the Schwab.
I give you, I basically make you all go in order, like a round robin, and you have to name all the champions.
Oh, wow.
But all the 24/7 champions.
Wow.
Oh,
And we have to
Man,
get
buddy.
all of our truth's reigns in order too.
Well, no, so like our truth counts as 1.
Okay. I was going to
You don't
say,
have
because
to,
he's
like,
won
you
that
don't
thing
go-
77 times or something by now.
51.
51.
Yeah.
Who is
51.
Bad Bunny's still the current champion, correct?
No.
Wait, he's not.
Bad Bunny traded the 24/7 championship to our truth for a Stone Cold Steve Austin lunchbox and the Smoking Skull title.
Okay, all right. That I forgot.
That was a thing that
That
happened
was
on Monday Night Raw like 2 weeks ago.
Crazy.
Yes.
All right, so let's do what our top 5 would be. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be based off of where they currently are on this list. So mine, number 1, of course, would be Natalya. Number 2, Nikki Bella. Number 3, Eva Marie. And 4, and literally everybody. No, just kidding. I'm kidding.
Eva Marie would have been 51. I understand.
Yeah, she's the number 51. My top 5, I would put Trish at number 1, Charlotte 2. I would have China at 3.
China.
I would actually have Lita at 4. I would like Lita a little higher on my list than number 8. And I would have Asuka at my number 5. That would be my top 5. Intern Mark, who would be your top 5?
Oh man, I would probably say my number 1 would also be Trish. Be Trish Stratus. Lita would be 2. Probably China at 3.
China.
Boy, 4 and 5. Oh man. I'd probably put Sasha Banks up there in the top 5. Sasha and probably Becky Lynch. I'm sorry if that upsets anybody.
No, it's okay. Now because I have my Twitter feed scrolling and somebody had posted a GIF of like Dakota and Raquel. So like you're gonna put Shotzi in the top 50, but you're not gonna put like Dakota or Raquel in the top. If we're featuring like current female superstars. You're not going to include like the first women, like the first women's tag team champions. Seems odd. NXT women's tag team champions. Matt, who would your top 5?
Yeah, so Trish is one for myself as well. 2 would be China. 3
China.
Thank you. 3 is Lita. And then at 4, I think I would put Becky at 4 and Sasha at 5.
Very good. Tim?
I'm going to go Charlotte 1. I'm going to go Trish 2. I will go... Oh, God, this is very difficult. Becky Lynch at 3.
Okay.
Asuka 4. And I'm actually putting Alexa Bliss at 5. I'll be honest with you. Like, China means a lot in like the history, but like, I don't know. A lot of firsts and a lot of big memories, but footprint small.
Okay.
Large steps, short trail.
Okay, that makes sense. I think we can all agree Ryan's number 1 would be Cameron, right?
Correct.
We can all agree. We all agree on that one.
And then I think 2 through 5 would just all be Brie.
Yeah, probably.
He would have Alicia Fox in his top 5.
That's true. Yeah, so it's like 2 Brie, 3 Brie, 4 Alicia Fox, 5 Brie.
Hervina.
He would have Alicia up there since Alicia inspired Cameron, his favorite wrestler.
That's true.
Then Melina would also go on the list.
What's your favorite match?
My favorite match was with Melina and Alicia Fox.
Who?
Like, just see the producers in the background. Don't hit her. Don't hit her. Don't hit her.
Like, please, Steve.
I also have
Steve. Don't do it, Steve.
I also have a honorable mention for someone who should be like 51 on the list.
We already talked about Eva Marie.
No, I'm trying to remember what her name was, but there was a time in which like some WWE superstar had his sister show up and like was
Ryan
trying.
Shamrock.
No, not Ryan Shamrock. We're talking
Former
like,
guest of this
recently.
show, Ryan Shamrock.
More recently, but like she came on and she was trying to hype up like how great her brother was.
Stephanie McMahon.
No. Black.
Are we?
Hit the button.
Bobby!
Thank you.
You're welcome. Devin has Trish number 1, Charlotte 2, 3, Lita 4,
China,
and 5, Becky Lynch. So we're fairly certain that Charlotte, Trish, Becky, China, Asuka are your 5 that are going to be these remaining 5 that got unveiled tomorrow. I feel like number 1 is either going to be Trish or Charlotte. Who do you think they actually put atop the list? I'm going to say, just based on the number of current talent and maybe the overinflation of some current talent, I'm saying they're going to go Charlotte number 1 on this list.
Charlotte has the most title wins in WWE history for females.
Plus, they just pissed her off, so they probably
They need her to stick around.
1-on-1, Charlotte better than Trish.
She did beat her.
Recount question of the week.
There it is. I was waiting for that board not to work. So I wanted to kind of keep this holiday themed a bit, since we are 1 day from Christmas Eve, 2 days from Christmas. And we talked about it's the 3-quart question of the week. Damn autocorrect, he says.
Damn it.
We did the what's on our wrestling, our current wrestling wish list. I think we did a couple weeks ago. So this one, I thought, because I think we've covered before, like the best Christmas present wrestling related we've ever gotten. So, like, if budget wasn't an issue, because we're all adults, we know you got to budget things. You can't just waste all your money on wrestling things anymore. If budget wasn't an issue, what is the number one wrestling item that you would ask for this year? Does anybody want to lead us off?
I actually have a copy of Jim's wish list right here. It says 1 tablespoon of Bret Hart saliva.
Give me a hell yeah.
To do.
From the strokey side?
Oh, come on.
Oh, my God. He wants it from the left side, apparently. Shit, that's... Money's not an issue. You get it. I get it.
You get it. Yeah.
You know what? Santa Claus is here. He might hear your wishes and go visit Mr. Hart tonight.
It could happen. Right now, the only thing I have is I made a donation to the Human Fund in your name, Big Jim. The Human Fund. I made a donation. It's money for people. But if you want some of Bret Hart's saliva, I'll be up in Calgary real soon. Oh!
Santa Claus. There was a joke we were talking about at trivia.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you remember that, or if you, because you're all seeing at all times. Do you know any good jokes?
Oh, hey, I have a great joke. As a matter of fact, my good friend Tom Brady, I was just visiting him, and for Christmas, he'd like to get his ears pierced, but he didn't think he could afford it. So I found this place that's going to, you know what they're going to charge him to get his ears pierced? $1 an ear.
Can I tell you how much I hate this show tonight?
A buccaneer.
$1 an ear.
Ridiculous.
If money was no object, my Christmas wish would be for this to be the last fucking episode of
Wait a minute, you guys are getting paid?
Yeah, it sucks to be an intern, doesn't it?
Be darned.
This is it.
Wow.
I don't know how much does it be Conrad Thompson? I don't fucking know. What's that price tag?
Like, now, why? Like, what aspect of Conrad's life do you want, or just all of it? The money, the getting to talk to Tony Schiavone every week, being married to a Flair. The belt collection. Is it the belt collection?
Probably. You know what? That's what I would do. I would be a Mark, and I would just buy belts.
I was going to say that too, just because like I don't see myself ever dropping a couple $100 on a nice quality belt. So that would probably be what I would get if money was no object. I would probably like the Smoking Skull belt or the Winged Eagle. Just like one that I really like. Maybe even that 24/7 title.
24/7 title, Ryan. Be careful if you go out in public with it. I know you like to live dangerously.
It would be a title belt though, just because I don't see myself spending the money on something like that. Because I would buy it and be like, "What am I going to do with this?"
Right.
I own 3, and I don't know what I would do with them. Right. Hang it up behind me, and I've never even done that.
Right. It's like a backdrop for a podcast. That's really where it is at this point. Oh, good.
I mean, I would probably want to get more autographs. You know, here's the deal. If money was not an option,
right?
Money wasn't an option, and somebody could buy me something for Christmas, and this is tough because you can't really buy this. I would want to run a wrestling show.
Okay.
If money wasn't an option, I would maybe not a full blown promotion, but I think it would be fun to come up with a card, get the wrestlers. I would want to run a show.
Whatever. Like you, and because money's no object, you could bring in like whomever, really theoretically, whomever you wanted outside of the WWE, of course.
Yes.
But yeah, okay, I like that. Santa Claus.
Well, tell you what, Sandy's got everything he needs at the North Pole.
Can I be honest?
But-
I'm a little worried what Santa Claus might say if money was no object, but
If money was no
we'll go on
object,
anyway.
You know, and Santa Claus can't make people fall in love. That's one of the conditions of being Santa Claus.
So you're thinking of Aladdin's genie.
Nope. I think that's a rule for Santa Claus too.
Yeah, and he can't bring people back from the dead.
That's also Aladdin's genie.
Let's
I'll
go
be
with
darned.
Santa Claus as well.
I'll be darned.
Santa won't be seeing Elvis perform. all the time.
Someone never watched Miracle on 34th Street because Santa Claus clearly makes those two people fall in love. So incorrect.
Boom.
Oh boy.
Wow.
I think you made a dangerous point there, Matt.
I'm going to take that in my first round draft pick.
You go right ahead.
The Miracle on 34th Street. Let's see. Sandy would probably, he would like to have one of Roddy Piper's kilts. Like one that he actually wore in the ring.
Okay.
A ring-worn kilt, preferably from the early days of his feud with Hulk Hogan.
All right.
In the WWF.
Still with the ball sweat and everything.
Yeah, it's got to be. All the ball sweat.
Yeah, you can't wash it, you know.
Heck no.
Takes away the value.
Takes away the
close
stank.
second. Yeah,
All that ball sweat.
And a close second would be Andre the Giant's machine mask that they had on that show. That was really neat.
Jeez. Okay.
The giant machine.
Um,
I'm a machine. I'm the eighth wonder of the world. I drink wine. Merry Christmas, Big Jim.
Oh God.
I'm a giant.
Man, fucking hell. I hate this show.
We love this show.
Mine would be probably the Winged Eagle, a ring used Winged Eagle, WWF Winged Eagle title, is my favorite belt. So if money's no object, I would definitely go for a ring used version.
You know what would be a lot of fun too?
What's that?
A ring.
It would be.
It'd probably
That
take
would
about
be a
10
hoot.
minutes.
I
10
think
minutes
that was
to
like
watch
always
the
the
year for
dream, like growing up, is to have a wrestling ring in your backyard.
Right, absolutely.
Like,
right. I mean, at 38, I would like run the ropes once and be like, oof.
Like, I shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have done it.
I need a
I have a
beer.
hard time getting in the ring.
My
because you have your big.
like, don't get me wrong. I've looked at my backyard and gone, fit a ring back there. I don't know that I could clear that one with the person in charge of this household.
Your
What about
wife
the
is a very giving woman. She would leave you in a second if you brought up
if
buying
if I put
wrestling ring.
if I put a wrestling ring in the backyard, absolutely. It'd be
But what
like,
if you got it
you're
with
an
pink
idiot
ropes?
and I'm leaving.
If you had pink ropes and said it was for her, maybe she'd be into it. You could tell her, "Hey, honey, I bought you a ring."
Say it was
She'd
for
be all
who?
excited.
For
Her.
There we go.
Tell her it was for her. Mrs. Big Jim, this is for you. Her. I got you a ring.
Just trying to get him to fall into dueling her.
Her.
Oh God.
So, Billy, is that you? Sure, let me get my pants on. Help yourself to the cold ones.
Let's see. Peyton on Facebook said WrestleMania tickets. Devin had WWE replica belts or front row seats to WrestleMania. Dan said not really an item, but the ability to learn how to take bumps.
All right.
Charlie says sweet tickets to Rumble or Mania. but he would take tickets to GCW or PPW. PPW, like those are cheap,
like
my guy.
$25.
Just head up north. It's a little drive up northern PA, my guy.
A little drive. Charlie, we talked about it. We'll get up to a show this year.
You know, if
by this year I mean next.
Right, I was gonna say probably not gonna
next
get there
couple
next
days.
week. Rob from Rob the Genius podcast said front row Mania tickets for both nights.
Mania tickets is a great choice. Front row Mania tickets.
But yeah, front row. Yeah, as a 36-year-old man with like mortgage and other responsibilities, that would definitely have to be one of those. One of those, yeah. If money wasn't an object, sort of a thing.
Would you wear your finest green shirt and khaki hat?
Without question. I would say no. I would get
what else would you wear?
I would get a green hat and a khaki shirt and just sit there like this.
Oh my god,
that'd be Bizarro World,
right? And I'd hope I'd be like on the opposite, like not even the opposite side of the ring because you'd never see me at that point. But like, I would just want to be. I wouldn't either right next to him or far enough away that people would just go.
It would be green shirt, khaki hat guy, collar and elbow guy. Elbow and collar guy, green hat, khaki shirt guy.
There we go.
Yeah, in that order.
That's how we would do it. Yeah.
Let's see.
And then Frank
here.
the Clown in the back.
So recently saw 8x10s of Vince, Shane, Linda, and Stephanie in a giant frame, each autographed and certified. Yikes! How much was that? I wonder.
Yeah,
probably.
Rob Feinstein had that actually on his Signed by Superstars. That was a real big piece.
Do we want to hit the final topic? We can skip.
Get it over with.
Okay. So Ryan says, "Get it over with."
Let's do it.
With Cody now coming to Monday Night Raw and back to WWE, you know, I think it kind of, you know, brings up the question, like, does this make it more likely that some AEW wrestlers, when their deals are up, actually make their way to WWE? Does this have an impact on it? Like, are there Cody guys that maybe wouldn't have crossed the line before, that would now? And I mean, even just in general, I mean, I think as deals expire and we see some contracts not being renewed, you know, I think, you know, that there's wrestlers out there that if WWE looks and gives them a deal, like if AEW is not giving them a deal, why not? But are there any wrestlers on the AEW roster that you think will end up in the WWE within the next year or two?
I think the answers can be kind of easy. There's 3 people I can think of off the top of my head that are plausible to make the jump, just in relation to Cody. Go ahead.
No, I'm counting for you.
Okay.
Count them.
I would say 10 from the Dark Order, Preston Vance.
Okay.
That's a Cody guy if I've ever seen one. I would say Ricky Starks.
Ricky Skaggs.
Ricky Starks.
Skaggs.
I think
He had a tryout.
I think that Cody is enough to get him a bump into coming in. But number 1 is kind of like the easiest, low-hangingest fruit answer, and that's MJF. With Cody being there and MJF absolutely being a Cody guy. I can see where Cody could kind of prop the door open for old Max to slide in and make a name for himself in the WWE.
So we're on board. That is an incredibly watered down MJF, and nobody will like it.
Like, yeah, can MJF be MJF in the WWE?
MJF can be MJF without swearing. Like MJF,
no way, MJF can't be MJF. MJF can't do autograph signings and does what MJF does currently. Absolutely not.
What, like he can't give somebody the
MJF's
finger?
going to tell a little kid, "I'm not going to autograph your picture," and your dad should have pulled out.
He's not going to be able to do
in the
that.
WWE. He can't do the things people like him to do. He'll
I mean,
probably sign. He's gonna suck. I'm
on
so
camera,
angry at you.
That's the thing too, is that MJF kind of lives his character outside of the ring, and WWE is very much this is who we are on television, and this is who we aren't on television. And Max would just play the difference. I think, I hate to make the easy layup comparison, but he's the Miz.
Sure.
He's someone who can be extremely hateable on television as a wrestler, but be relatable as a dude, not wrestling. Oh, I'm sorry. Kayfabe's dead.
But it's not like he's the one that it's not. He would give the Connor Cure kid the finger. He absolutely would. And that's why I like MJF.
But I think you can.
And you don't get that. You get the fucking Miz. You already have him. Why bring him over?
Because the Miz isn't going to be wrestling forever.
Yeah, the Miz is
and you
42.
The Miz is 42 and MJF is 24. So you're literally getting another 20 years of the Miz if you bring in MJF.
And like
easy.
I think you can get away with MJF giving like the fans the finger at WrestleMania Access.
Stone Cold can't.
But
Stone Cold's not a heel.
Stone Cold in 2020, 2015 and beyond, isn't Stone Cold Steve Austin the heel in the Attitude Era. And
heel Edge today isn't heel Edge. The guy can't. I don't want to hate Edge, but the WWE's making me.
Right.
But I'm hating Edge, not because of what Edge
Tim's like,
not
I
because
hate
of
this.
Edge, but because Edge is garbage.
Would you say he lost his edge, Tim?
His etch. He lost his etch.
Yeah, he lost all of it.
But like,
what you guys? Who do you guys think makes the jump from AEW to WWE?
I mean, I think MJF does. I don't like it. That's all. I think the name Wardlow comes up and talks that he looks like a WWE guy. That would be fine. I personally think the WWE is a sucker for like family and legacy style gimmicks. I could see them bringing in the Gun Club and bring back Badass Billy Gunn, and you have that great thing. I could see them reuniting with Arn Anderson and bringing old Brock Anderson back and the legacy of Brock. There's a reason Cody Rhodes is back, and there's a reason his first big promo was very Dusty heavy. It's because it's easy for the WWE. You can do the same thing with those two. So Gun Club, Brock Anderson, and on the ladies, Jade fucking Cargill.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a woman on the AEW roster that looks more like a WWE superstar than Jade Cargill.
Yeah,
Jade
she is sports entertainment. MJF is sports entertainment. Absolutely.
I'd like to see Ruby come back too.
Sure, she can wrestle on Main Event. She's wrestling on Dark. It's one and the same. Sadly.
She's a real diamond in the rough, that Ruby.
Jesus.
End this fucking show on that note.
I feel like before his time in the business is done, Jericho comes home. I think Jericho gets one last, even if it's one last match. I think his final match is in WWE.
I think it's a final match in Hall of Fame together.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't want to dig it up with this, but it's like, I feel like Jericho comes back to WWE regardless of whatever Cody did. I feel like the question being posed is, now that Cody's here, who comes?
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. We'll scratch
I don't think
Jericho.
Jade Cargill's on that list too. I don't think Cody's.
Not yet, but you will.
Cody's the reason Jade comes. I think Jade comes.
I didn't really think of it that way. I thought it was within.
That's
2
fair.
years or whenever their things up. I didn't really tie it to Cody. I know that's what Jim said, but that's not what's on the screen.
Right. But that was, but
Jim
that's also
changes
what's in
the shit as he goes. He's the host.
That's true. I do that.
Yeah, I mean, this was from the show notes feed. So
I mean, we have 5 minutes left, and he's like, "Hey, let's talk about AEW now." So
I mean, in my defense, I tried to pass the topic, and you said no. Let's talk about it.
you tried to cut it all together, right?
Right.
This is the Rich Holland New Day comment.
Right. We could have put it on another night and talked about it for a minute and a half, but you wanted to do this now, so.
I think there's a list of like Hall of Fame people that are separate.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair.
The Hall of Fame comes back. I think the Hardys
Henry
are in the Hall of Fame. Comes back. Mark Henry's Hall of Fame comes back.
Yeah. What about the Big Show?
Jericho.
Who cares?
I said Big Show.
Yeah, Jericho.
I don't like it, but he'll be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I mean, CM Punk, I think, eventually comes back. If there's business to be had, he will be there. I think so. I think Christian eventually comes back.
Sure.
Like literally,
I would say more so than CM Punk.
I think CM Punk comes back.
I think Christian in the Hall.
Yeah. No.
Not yet. Etch is, but
is in there. But Christian.
Now, does Christian get in by himself, or do they put Etch and Christian in?
I think Christian gets in by himself.
Okay.
Like, I really feel like he would have been if he didn't go to AEW.
Probably.
But yeah, I totally think that there's room for opportunity for CM Punk to come back to the WWE for the Hall of Fame.
But I think Wardlow as well. I think WWE is going to try to get Wardlow. Whether or not he comes over is a different story. But I think that pitch is going to be there. I can't think of any others.
Jan Spears.
Fuck.
That's another Cody guy.
They can keep him.
He's got a WWE legacy. Like,
he's a perfect 10.
They can keep him, really, but it's okay.
And like, here's my only thought. Here's my thought process with even that. If Cody gets Shawn back in the WWE, then Shawn could get Peyton to come back to the WWE, which means we can get the Iconics back in WWE. And if
it turns me on,
if Shawn Spears has to be the gateway drug to get the Iconics back in the WWE, I'll hit it.
That's fair. I can deal with it. I can deal with that, I suppose.
I don't like that. Is there any Nightmare Family guys like trained at the Nightmare Factory that?
I mean, Devin says QT. I don't know if the WWE brings in QT.
QT might sign as a trainer.
Right, I was gonna say I don't think he's ever a wrestler
or a producer.
Mark, look who showed up.
Luda Kitty showed up.
I think there's a spot. I think there's a spot for QT. Anthony Ogogo.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that there's.
He's had a hell of a career in AEW.
I think that there's dollar signs with him in the WWE.
Well, they got to solve racism in WWE.
WWE loves their legit athletes turned superstars. He's an Olympic boxer who wants to wrestle. Absolutely.
What was Gable Steveson? Was he a wrestler?
He's
a rapist.
A
wrestler. Sorry.
He did that real stuff.
Too real.
Shotty Lee Johnson is like probably the star pupil from the Nightmare Family.
Oh, Shotty Lee.
Oh, Shotty Lee Johnson.
Shotty Lee Johnson.
Oh, Mark, per indeed.
Per.
But yeah, everybody else. Anybody else? Like, I think those are the ones who are probably closest to Cody that get in.
Yeah.
That's probably all
I don't think we see a giant wave of people deflecting though either. I don't think that happens.
No,
I
don't think so.
I think things will naturally happen back and forth. And I think to Tim's point, if AEW didn't exist, Christian's already in the Hall of Fame, and I don't think wrestles maybe but a few indie dates. I think Big Show's already in the Hall of Fame not tied to AEW. Mark Henry's in the Hall of Fame and never went to AEW. I think these are things that would have happened within the last year, 2 years, that
Is
with
it-
AEW here and willing to take a chance from these older names and wrestle and let them, bop around or whatever.
I think it all
Run
depends.
2 years over there.
I think
go
it all
back home.
depends on who Tony re-signs and who he doesn't too.
Mark Henry is in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, Big Show is not.
Big Show is
that's
not.
right,
but
yeah.
Mark Henry already is.
Mark Henry. Okay.
Well, Big
Mark
Show
went
has
in 2018.
That okay.
That's right. He did.
That's when he
Because he-
retired.
but
John Cena.
He made that plea to Martha to let
That's right.
the kids
That's
go
right.
back.
Yep.
But yeah, I think it depends too, because like, it does seem like Tony is definitely taking he's definitely changed his stance, because 6 months ago it was that like if you're AEW for life kind of a thing, and we're already seeing we saw what happened with Big Swole, and then Marco Stunt is not being renewed, and I'm not banging the drum for Marco Stunt to be an AEW lifer, but it's I think we're gonna see over the next 4 to 6 months how many people on those initial deals don't get brought back, because there's a lot of people that aren't being used on weekly TV, like TBS TNT. Like they may be getting stuff on Dark and Dark Elevation, but they're not being utilized on the cable TV program. So and I get it. I mean, if people are tuning in to see Jon Moxley and Adam Cole and Keith Lee, and they're not tuning in to see the Librarian. So I get it. I'm not faulting them for it. But I'm curious to see who from those initial deals don't get renewed, and I think that'll play into it as well.
Was Leva Bates, and I'm going to use the word hotter, not attractive, was she any hotter than when she was with Enzo and Cass as Blue Pants, or was that like height of her powers?
That was
Yeah, it's definitely height of powers.
That was height for sure.